This week on the Race Report, we'll take you to Watkins Glen for the annual Vintage Grand Prix Festival, a birthday party for a man who raced at Watkins Glen in 1948, Andy Lally in Victory Lane in Trans Am competition, a barn burner of a modified race at Penn Can Speedway, and a look forward to several great events coming up this weekend. All that and more on this edition of the Race Report. Hi everyone and welcome to another edition of the Race Report. I'm Ron Hills. Our racing weekend began bright and early Friday morning in downtown Watkins Glen, where the village celebrates the annual Vintage Grand Prix Festival. Part of the festivities this year was a 100th birthday party for Otto Linton, the only living person who raced at Watkins Glen in the inaugural race in 1948. His birthday celebration came complete with a brass band. This year, the Trans Am Series joined the Sports Car Vintage Racing Association on this weekend. That's because Tony Parella, the owner of SVRA, just acquired majority interest in the Trans Am Series. Here's why.
Oh, it's awesome to be home. I've been coming here when I was a little boy. My dad took me here, and now to play a small role in putting on the races here, it's just awesome. And they have my children, both my daughters are coming in from Texas, my granddaughter's here. It's we're building some pretty cool memories. Well, I think there's so much brand equity in the name Trans Am, and I think it's in its 51st year. It's the oldest running road racing series, professional road racing series in the country, and to have that coupled with the vintage show is an awesome show for the fans. And I think the synergies between the vintage racer and the production racer within Trans Am are very, very close. So I'm seeing guys that are vintage racers go back and get to try their hand at professional racing. And I think some of the older Trans Am guys are looking at the vintage cars, and it just it makes for a really unique show. We did it at Indy, we do it at Sebring, we did it at VIR, and now having it here at the Glen, I just think it's something the fans will really, really embrace. I mean, some of the biggest names that ever raced that came up through. I mean, when you think of Parnelli Jones or Dan Gurney, or in the older years, or George Foamer, and now modern day, in them to Willie Ribbs, and we got a kid up there, Ernie Francis Jr. right now, that he just did a first test in NASCAR last week at Road America. So the sport is, I'll tell you, I think the combination of Trans Am and SVRA together is going to raise a few eyebrows before it's said and done. Having Indy is a big deal. I mean, we track social media numbers, and we set a record as soon as that was announced. So, I mean, just the whole, one thing that's common, whether you're talking to IndyCar drivers, NASCAR drivers, vintage racers, Trans Am racers, Watkins Glen always ranks right at the top of their favorite tracks to race. If you're a road racer, this is as good as, this is the Holy Grail. I'm the only guy on the planet who moves north. I grew up in Syracuse, and 5 years ago, this weekend, I acquired SVRA, got started with SVRA, and it was very apparent that how much I missed it when I got back here. And every year I was looking for this or looking for that, and lo and behold, I bought a place in Romulus right on the east side of the lake, and it's just awesome being home. It's a 27-mile commute to the racetrack instead of a 1,600-mile one, so it's pretty neat this time. This is my home track for sure, for sure.
And the Trans Am Series was a homecoming for New York native Andy Lally. He was the winner in the TA1 competition. That makes Lally the only driver to win 2 major series at Watkins Glen this season. Earlier this year, Lally and his teammate Catherine Legg were winners in the GTD division during the Salem 6 Hours of the Glen weekend.
2017 is an amazing year for me, especially because of Watkins Glen. 2 poles, 2 wins, 2 different series. I won my 4th 6 Hours of the Glen, and then I won my very first Trans Am race in my debut. So a dream come true season at my favorite track on the entire planet. I couldn't ask for more. I drove 2 totally different cars this year at Watkins Glen, the Acura NSX and the Chevrolet Camaro Trans Am car. Opposite ends of the spectrum as far as horsepower and handling. You've got a big, heavy, high horsepower car, and then you've got a light, nimble, high downforce car, and it took a lot to kind of get between those 2 cars and make sure that that I had the right package for the Camaro, because I had obviously had the habit of the GT3 car, but it was very cool. Myself and 6 other drivers broke the track record in qualifying in the Trans Am race, and I think the speed came from the new flowing smooth asphalt at Watkins Glen and just technology pushing. These Trans Am cars are getting faster and faster every time, and for this to be the fastest ever Trans Am lap that we've ever done ever around Watkins Glen is really cool. Very special for me, especially because this is my home state and my favorite racetrack. The rest of my 2017 season is packed with IMSA, but I'm trying to get as many Trans Am races as I can in. We got to ask the boss, Claudio, at Burton Racing to see if he'll have me back again. I hope so. I had a blast, and hopefully they're looking for a guy.
Racing action from Penn-Can Speedway when the race report returns. But first, here's a look at this week's Car of the Week from Brush and Pallet Auto in Candor.
"30 years of satisfied customers. That's the proud history of Brush and Pallet Auto in Candor. We have a large selection of cars, trucks, and SUVs. Here is this week's Car of the Week. We'll give you a $1,000 minimum trade-in, and we have financing options to fit your needs, including a first-time buyers program. Think you can't afford it? We think you can. Check us out at brush-pallet.com or visit us in person at 598 Owego Road in Candor, New York.
We're gonna smash 'em old school. The Kings of Old School Demolition Derby, Saturday, September 16th, 2 p.m. at the Fairgrounds at Whitney Point, featuring the Mad Dogs, a hand-picked group of the hardest-hitting derby drivers on the East Coast, taking Demolition Derby to the extreme. Don't miss the car, truck, and lawnmower destruction. One of the best derbies on the East Coast, Saturday, September 16th, 2 p.m. Admission just $13. The Kings of Old School Demolition Derby.
Unicorn Electronics in the Valley Plaza, Johnson City has the best pricing and selection of audio, video, and computer cables in the area. Don't spend a fortune on that HDMI cable for your new HD TV or Blu-ray player. Unicorn Electronics has quality cables in the lengths you need at a price you can afford. Expanding your network, Unicorn has the patch cables and accessories to make it happen. When you need to connect, think Unicorn Electronics in the Valley Plaza, Johnson City.
Sunday, September 17th, it's another round of kart racing at Champion Speedway at the end of Route 434, East River Road, Owego, featuring kart classes for adults and juniors, plus microds, lawnmower racing, and the Mod Light Hurricanes. Spectator admission just $5 for adults over 16. Under 16, just $1. For entry fees and class information, like Champion Speedway Kart Racing on Facebook. Racing begins at noon, Sunday, September 17th.
Welcome back to the Race Report. To Penn Can Speedway in Susquehanna, great racing action. They almost got fogged out. You could barely see the backstretch, but as quick as the fog came in, it lifted, and the features got underway, first to four-cylinder action. On the microphone is Craig Hawley.
Wilder and Kennedy off turn number 4. Green flag is waving, and we're racing down the front. Straight away they go. Kennedy, Phil Burns, Wilder, Warren. They straighten it out into turn number 1. They're 3 wide for position 4, 5, and 6. It's Nick Kennedy out front, the M2 machine. Phil Burns is second. Out front it all rides, the M2 of Kennedy. Phil Burns right there on his back bumper. Wilder third. Fourth is Warren and Robinson. On the corner this time, 3 laps now complete for the N2 and Nick Kennedy. Here comes Phil Burns down to the inside and turn to turn 1. Green flag is out there, ride it down into turn number 1. Phil Burns gets the jump. Now it's Kennedy in second, Robinson third, Robinson and Kennedy 1 and 2 on the points as they battle at 2 and 3 on the racetrack. Phil Burns, the invader, leads them into turn number 3 and 4. Into turn number 3 and 4 goes the 99K of Phil Burns. Battle on the racetrack for second. That is for a points position. Phil Burns sets the pace. Robinson is second. He gets by Kennedy on lap number 5. But Phil Burns took the lead on lap number 3. He has got that machine hooked up and dialed in. White flag will be waving for Phil Burns as he rides it in between quarter number 3 and 4. One more time around the speedway for Phil Burns. On the south end they ride. It's all the 99K of Phil Burns. Warren on his back bumper. Can he get anything off of turn 4? Burns pushes up. Checkered flag in the air, and Phil Burns, the invader, steals the show.
In factory stocks, it was a repeat win for Tommy Groover. The XL 600 feature was postponed and will be run at a later date. To sportsman action and back to Craig Hawley.
Off turn 4, green flag is out. We're back underway. 3 laps to decide this one. Alex Yankowski into turn number 1. Mikey Nagel way up over the cushion, hiking that left front tire up on the ground. He'll lose the 5th position to Tommy Collins. Parallel sticks are in the sky 2 more times around the speedway for Alex Yankowski. Matt Cole, Moose Gully, Mike Shane. Tommy Collins in position 5, but here comes Nagel racing alongside. White flag in hand, 1 more trip around the speedway for the 84Y of Alex Yankowski. He sets it into the south end of the speedway looking for his first career Penn Can Speedway victory. Alex Yankowski into turn 3 and 4, final time. On the corner, he'll pick up the win. Alex Yankowski is your winner. Matt Cole second, Mike Shane third, 4th is Tommy Collins, and 5th is Mike Nagel Jr.
To modified action, the battle came right down to the white flag. Once again, here's Craig Hawley.
Green means going down the front straightaway they ride into the south end. Everybody makes it down to quarter number 1. Put Trelak on the outside like a cannon. Now he gets up into the little stuff, and we got him stacked up in the middle of the pack. Pompey rides second, Green third. 4th is Colson, 5th is Smith. 10 more circuits remain for Nick Petrelak. Pompey to within about 6 car lengths. But Petrelak has had the line tonight. Pompey trying to reel him in. Darwin Green third, fourth is Colston. Here comes Rusty Smith. Looking to the inside into turn 1. Nick Petrelak shows the way this time. 22 down, 8 remain. Petrelak may come into lap traffic before it's said and done. Petrelak. Pompey is coming down the 5 car lengths with 7 laps remaining. Pompey may have been saving something in that number 11 machine. Pompey making a charge on lap 23. Now down to within 2 car lengths. Petrelak slips up. Pompey takes him up the back straightaway. New race leader. Petrelak going to try a high-low switch. Pompey, race leader on lap 25 with 5 remain. But Petrelak going to try to get him back in lap traffic. 4 laps remain for Dan Pompey. Pompey sets the pace. Petrelak second. Third is Green. Morton up into the loose stuff, and caution going to come out.
Low in turn 2. Low in turn 2. Hear that?
Green flag is out. 26 in, 4 remain for Dan Pompey. Petrelak trying to mount a charge off turn number 2. Petrelak's been using that outside line. Now he's going to try to use the bottom. He pitches it as low as he can, side by side of the line. Pompey, Petrelak side by side into turn number 2.
What a great modified race tonight.
Parallel sticks are dancing. Petrelak down on the inside. Rusty Smith on the outside in 4, trying to make something happen. He's going to the wild side. He's going to go around Darwin Green. Up front there, side by side. Pompey, Petrelak into 3 and 4. Pompey loses it a bit. Gathers it back. Petrelak, they touch. White flag is out. Into turn 1. Petrelak gets a good run. Pompey on the outside, they ride it. Final time into turn 3 and 4. Nick Petrelak gets the lead back, and he's going to go to victory lane. Petrelak, Pompey, Green, Smith, Colston.
More still ahead on this edition of The Race Report.
We're gonna smash them old school. The Kings of Old School Demolition Derby, Saturday, September 16th, 2 p.m. at the Fairgrounds at Whitney Point, featuring the Mad Dogs, a hand-picked group of the hardest-hitting derby drivers on the East Coast, taking Demolition Derby to the extreme. Don't miss the car, truck, and lawnmower destruction. One of the best derbies on the East Coast, Saturday, September 16th, 2 p.m. Admission just $13. The Kings of Old School Demolition Derby.
For 3 generations, we've been building world-class American performance.
Like the new Edelbrock Power Package Top-End Kit, based on Edelbrock's powerful RPM crate engines. Each kit includes aluminum heads and intake, cam and lifters, gaskets, and hardware to build your own 400-plus horsepower Chevy small block. For 3 generations, it's pure American performance from the leader. Call now for your free Edelbrock catalog.
Edelbrock makes them right here in the USA.
Sunday, September 17th, it's another round of kart racing at Champion Speedway at the end of Route 434, East River Road, Owego, featuring kart classes for adults and juniors, plus mic rods, lawnmower racing, and the Mod Light Hurricanes. Spectator admission just $5 for adults over 16. Under 16, just $1. For entry fees and class information, like Champion Speedway Kart Racing on Facebook. Racing begins at noon, Sunday, September 17th.
30 years of satisfied customers. That's the proud history of Brush and Pallet Auto in Candor. We have a large selection of cars, trucks, and SUVs. Here is this week's Car of the Week. We'll give you a $1,000 minimum trade-in, and we have financing options to fit your needs, including a first-time buyers program. Think you can't afford it? We think you can. Check us out at brush-pallet.com or visit us in person at 598 Owego Road in Candor, New York.
Welcome back to the Race Report. Unadilla was in action this weekend with some motorcycle action. For more, here's James Eggleston.
Thank you, Ron. I'm here talking with Jordan Ashburn. He's out of Cookeville, Tennessee. He's been riding the GNCC since 2004. Jordan, what's your favorite part of Unadilla?
You know, just there's a lot of people up here, and the terrain's quite a bit different than down south. So I'm from Tennessee, and you know, it's just real dark soil up here, and a lot of like river rock in the ground. So
you haven't been out here this year yet. No, you can't go out on the track until it races, but you've been out looking around. What's your idea of the track right now?
It's fast this weekend. There's not a lot of technical stuff, so a good start's going to be key, and just trying to stay out front with the leaders.
Okay, and how many seasons you've been racing in the GNCC?
I think in pro class since 2011, so quite a few years now.
And what's your best finish in the points?
I finished overall number 3 2 years ago. So, and then I was number 4 last year. So, you know, it's just been, this year's been kind of slow here and there, but we've been trying to work our way up, and just finishing around the top 5 this year, we'll be set.
Well, you got a podium finish. That's a good finish. The podium's nice. You have any other aspirations besides the GNCC, like moving up, maybe doing something with a USA team or anything like that?
You know, I race a series called the Sprint Enduros. I race them, and they're all over. They're kind of like an ISD kind of format, so they're different, but that's kind of my main series that I run right now.
Okay, and you said the first time you were up here on a mini bike. Is that right?
Yeah, for sure.
2004, which seems like yesterday for us.
There's a lot going on this weekend. Friday night, Skyline Raceway Park wraps up their regular season with the annual running of the Turbo Blue. For more, here's Jim Chase.
We're here at the Skyline Raceway Park with track owner and promoter Dean Catlin, and coming up the season finale here at Skyline, the infamous Turbo Blue. And tell us a little bit about the action that's going to be going on here on that Friday night.
Well, if it's anything like last year, it's going to be just full of nothing but nonstop action. The place was packed, cars, spectators. I don't think we could have got too many more cars in the pits, and it was just totally awesome night of racing. And we've learned a lot more on this racetrack this year than we did last year. And last year we did really well, and this year we really stepped it up even more, and just everybody's praising our surface of our track this year, and it's just going to be a total phenomenal night up here for the Turbo Blue. One thing that comes to my mind is Brian White started racing with us 2 Fridays ago, and he says, I don't know why, and he said, but I'm going to start telling everybody, if you're not racing Skyline, you're crazy.
Well, there you have it. There's the Turbo Blue, been going on here for many, many years. We'll wrap up the racing season on that day, and we'll check on the website and the Facebook page for all the information. We'll see what Mother Nature throws our way, and maybe we'll get a couple after season events in there, just have some fun.
Yeah, we're working on all kinds of stuff with our schedule, and a lot of dates have already been taken because all these rainouts this year that Mother Nature's been having for us. But we're going to work through it, and we're going to keep racing as long as we can here at Skyline.
All right, from the Skyline Raceway Park, reporting for the Race Report, I'm Jim Chase. Back to you in the studio, Ron.
On Saturday, there's a demolition derby at the Broome County Fairgrounds. It's the King of Old School. Also on Saturday, Square Deal Riders wraps up their 2017 season. The Race Report will be on hand. To Sunday, where the Central New York Hall of Fame will hold their annual Hall of Fame inductions and reunion. The doors open at 7 a.m. for the flea market. The Hall of Fame induction starts at 1 p.m. Also in competition on Sunday is Champion Speedway. For more, here's Corey Relier.
Well, initially I rented a go-kart track for the people in general from Jason, who owns Champion Speedway, and he spoke to me about a kid who was trying the kart series before and give me Paul Smalls' number. And after I met Paul, it just come together at that point. I mean, people started calling, and Paul is a huge help for what we're doing. You know, I encourage anybody to come run with us. It's a family event. The first time I've seen families together like that, kids checking tire pressures. I'm not a kart guy, but I'm trying to learn as much as I can, and it just all comes together. Yeah, we're trying some new things. Bobby Edwards, he came out to the races last week at Champion with the Speedway bikes and did a little expo. That mower's just fast. I think he won the first race we had, and he's come to every practice we had, and that thing is just incredibly fast. We're trying new things. We're bringing mic rods. We're trying to make it, if it's 4 wheels and it belongs on dirt, we're trying that theory for the smaller stuff. Lawnmowers, carts. Them lawnmowers are just insane. That Tri-County, I want to give a big shout out to them because there are probably 40 or 50 of the carts that come. I didn't expect mic rods. I never even knew they raced mic rods on dirt. They started coming and asking questions, and I said, if you guys think you can make it work, come, and we're getting a huge support from them guys. Yeah, we have Champion Kart Speedway on Facebook. Just like us on Facebook and follow what we got going on. I think since we started, we got 250 followers, and it's only been a couple weeks. So they could call me at 607-972-5123 or email me at corey.relier@gmail.com. This Sunday is the start of, we created a Jim Brown shootout. We're going to have a 4-race series, and it's going to be huge. Jim Brown, he's a motor guy. He's got some health issues, and we're doing what we can to really support what he's got going on. Jim helped us inspect the last kart race, and he was there from start to finish. So, yeah, just come out Sunday, and hopefully it works.
The Race Report Trivia Contest continues this Monday night at the California Grill, 912 Vestal Parkway East in Vestal. Trivia begins at 7:30. This week's bonus answer is Smithfield Foods. And we leave you this week with sights and sounds from the Downtown Festival and the U.S. Vintage Grand Prix weekend at Watkins Glen International. For the entire staff of the Race Report, thanks for watching. Till next week, I'm Ron Hills, and I'll see you at the races.